Hello, this is Sibyl Harmony, mystic teacher and healer, and this is your video for August 2021. And there's so much energy going on this month. There's so much to talk about. So I'm going to try to focus in and not just be all over the place. We have a lot of awakening energy, and that term has kind of become like weird or politicized or something, but it's actually a energetic, mental, emotional, and physical phenomenon that's happening, whether we like it or not. And so I'll talk about that, whether we want to or not. But I see a lot of energy. Just, it can feel a little bit sometimes overwhelming, the amount of changes that we're going through here now on Earth. And if it feels like that, lean on your guides and the angels. You have guardian angels, guides, higher self, universal love, animal totems, whatever you feel connected to that's loving and supportive, your deceased loved ones on the other side. So lean on them and ask your guides, and your deceased loved ones will intervene whether you like them to or not, because they're not trained as a guide or an angel. That a guide or an angel can never interfere in your life without you asking, except in a life-threatening situation before your time. So lean on your guides and angels in August, because there's a lot going on. We're connected to the stars. This card is saying, reach for the stars. You deserve the very best. So we're also connected into this energy that is almost otherworldly. That is, as we are shifting from the Piscean age, which is an age of beliefs and ideas, such as religion, to the Aquarian age, which is more about spiritual, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. That's a big one. Okay, so changes in family. So some of you may be going through changes with family. This can be a time of falling in love or being in love with yourself. And the best way to do this energy is to really tune into your authentic self. Who are you really? How are you showing up? Being very ethical with yourself and others. What is truth, and how you are connecting to your authentic self and being able to express that. So we have creativity. Starting projects is a great way, a great time to start and begin things. There's a lot of new energy bursting forth, especially in the first couple weeks of August. Joy, passion, third eye opening. So awakening is about your abilities, your intuition, your heart opening. The solar plexus, which is your power center. I have a big dog. Sorry, there's two. And they're saying hello. Okay. Well, they're barking at something, but so it's important to own your power, to start things. We have a lot of energy coming in about being the hero, being the heroine, being the hero, being resilient, being strong, because you're going to need it this month. And so for some people, it's good not to make hasty decisions and wait until next spring. It's never a good idea to make a hasty decision, but waiting. And some people, it's good to find the middle way. That's kind of a Buddhist lesson, to find the middle way, to be in balance. So let's talk about, wait, we have codependency. So codependency is about growing up and being our adult self. And yes, nurturing and loving the inner child, which last month there was a lot of things coming up from our childhood, might have been even unconscious. And this month, we're really kind of growing up, because codependency is being an adult, being there for yourself. And it is about being your authentic self. So let's go back to talk about the stars, reaching for the stars, your very best, and awakening. So a lot of people don't want to wake up. Some people do. There are ways that you can make it happen by doing Kundalini yoga or ayahuasca. I don't really care. That's a whole nother story that I don't want to get into. I love Kundalini yoga, but I did it and held a pose and my Kundalini shot up and it was very intense. So whether you're doing Kundalini yoga or not, just because we are going through this energy, this change here on Earth. So 2012 was not the end of the world. And I kept telling people it's not the end of the world, but it was the end of an era. But there's about maybe a quarter to a third of the population that's not changing or growing at all. They don't want to let go of the old era. And a lot of this has to do with religion, and that's fine. A lot of people believe in that. A lot of people believe that if they're good enough or they're not a sinner, then they can go to heaven when they die and sit on a cloud looking at God and angels playing harps for eternity. A lot of people believe that. And so because there is that belief, there is that realm. So there's other religions that believe in reincarnation. So wherever you believe, whatever people believe, they create that reality. So we can create with our thoughts, even now more, that we're not in the age of beliefs or religion, that we're going into this other era. And so there is some people believe in Atlantis and Lemuria. I do, because I remember those lifetimes, but there's no factual evidence. So I understand that. But there are on this planet pyramids, the Temple Delphi, where the Sibyls and the god Apollo oversaw the psychics, where people would come to have their future told, to have a second sight. There are pyramids all around different places in South America and Egypt and El Beke, and some places in Turkey, and some places where, like, how were those built? Because people back then in Egypt, how did the people there connect with and have these pictures of these human animal-like type beings? And the India, very ancient country. So they understand more about what is real magic, what we're able to create with our thoughts. As we open the third eye, which is our ability to see, and we open our heart, which Buddhism talks about, compassion. So I'm not against any of these really healthy, loving ideas, but there is a part of the population that's hooked on to, like, conspiracy theories. Some people have found ways to take part of what's true and turn it into these fantastical stories of things that just aren't true, and they aren't based in. I'm not a real science person, but I respect science, and I understand that there are laws here, the law of, gravity, and the law of if you eat a bunch of junk food, you're not going to feel too well for very long, that we need to breathe oxygen. So I understand those types of science and believe in those. And that's great if you do, because science has saved us. If I love the medical system when I have a broken leg. I don't really go there for other things as much, but I encourage you, to talk to your doctor and take your medications. I'm more of the school of energy. The ancients But this has to be done from a place of realistic, authentic, and how did they move those giant blocks to make those pyramids? And why did they do that? So this cannot have been done with horses and ropes and hundreds of people. It just couldn't have. So how did that happen? Because they had knowledge, and secret societies have knowledge. Yes, there are a 1% that is trying to control everybody and putting out messages over mainstream media. And all mainstream media is not completely honest. I don't trust them. I listen to them, and then I can see with my guides like what's true and like, okay, you're getting out of hand with this, or it's just mean and hateful and getting people to be angry and believe in things. And that's very powerful if you can control people through fear. But yes, there is a 1% here, and they're right out in front of us. It's not some secret cabal of Jewish spaceships in, starting fires or something. It's actually global warming that was caused by big oil companies. So, and the Koch brothers, people who are right out in front of us. I mean, there are a few hidden that have a lot of, billionaires, but most of them are right out in front of us, and they're controlling the whole thing. And now this woke thing is like, it's even on the news and the mainstream media, like the woke people, they're the bad people or something. And really, what is awakening? Because it's happening to everyone except for the people who are refusing to change and still holding on. And I understand why you want to hold on to the past, because it feels safe. It could be scary. Maybe it's too hard. Maybe you're a younger soul and you don't want to, you want to go back to the good old days. Well, the problem with that is that time is moving forward. It's not going backwards. And so we are coming into an age where we must come into balance with the environment. That the weather is hot. Nobody's making that happen with a laser or aliens or something. It's just really happening because our earth is out of balance. And so how do we come into balance? How do we open our hearts? How do we stop being controlled by all these media messages and find who are we? Why are you here? Who are you? Finding and connecting to your authentic self. And as you do that, as we are literally shifting on earth from this lower 3D vibration, which is going to be in chaos in August and for time to come. So, but the more you're in that and you're believing in that there's some Armageddon and that the planet's going to burn up or flood or something, and the second coming, Jesus is already here. I've talked to him. He's in all of us. He's just a soul that was very advanced and come here in many lifetimes to teach about love and healing. It isn't, but because a lot of people believe that there's some second coming and that the end days are near and all that, they're kind of like making that happen with this toxic fossil fuel, and then they don't want to change that. So that's part of the awakening. And we're going to be okay. We're going to reverse this. I believe, I'm optimistic, but we've got to do it now. And if everyone opens their heart, or enough people open their heart to love, to caring about each other, the oceans would purify. We would find ways, because when your heart is open and the third eye is open and you're connected to your higher self, and you're in your life and you're awakening of consciousness, you would never do such unconscious things as pollute the planet when there are other more intelligent ways to do it. We've had the technology, but it's just that these big greedy companies have been holding us back, and the people that pay them, explaining. I had some guy explain to me that how he thought, like a couple years ago, how he thought that, it's all made up, all this climate change stuff. And that he watched this video and saw how it's all made up. Okay. Well, I don't want to get too much into that. But as you are going through this month and you are experiencing these energies in this changing world, know that we are going to a good place, and know that your purpose here is very important. That your purpose of connecting with your family and your friends, of sometimes the most spiritual people are just people who go to work and pay their bills, that are there for their friends and family. You don't have to be, floating on clouds or vegan diets or, running around saving everybody or something, but being your authentic self and connecting in with that. And you will experience you may experience some body changes. Physical things are very trouble sleeping, digestive issues, and you should check your diet. Make sure that you're eating not eating GMOs or not eating toxic food. And then ridding yourself of stress, finding a way to adjust to these higher vibrations. And one of them is by being really positive and paying attention to your thoughts, which you can create and manifest by really loving yourself, by grounding. It's so important to be grounded and in the body. In August and always, the ancients knew that. They knew the power of ceremony and ritual and of being in balance and coming into our power. And your power is in your third chakra. Your third chakra is in your solar plexus. This is like a golden sun. This is owning this is the energy of I am. Okay? So the heart is I love, and the third eye, where you see spirit, you see energy, you see in your dreams, or you become the observer. Everything actually. If you go on my website and look at my sign up for my newsletter, you'll get a symbol of dictionaries and a video explaining how everything is a part of spirit. When you are in a higher state of consciousness, which is up here and on the seventh chakra. But when you recognize and understand that everyone is here to teach you, that you are here to learn, and you are here on the love planet to learn to love yourself and others, and that we're all in this together. And so the more you bring in that energy, that peace and that groundedness and that connectedness, the easier it'll be for you to detach from the fear and the stress of what's happening in the world, because it's going to go through a process. And I'm feeling like I want to pull one more card here, because really coming back to your guides and angels. Oh, my website is sibylharmony.com, spelled SIBYL, harmony.com. And you can go on there and and I don't share your email with anybody else. You can go on there and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll get a free dictionary symbol. I have this too, following your heart. So this is Saint Francis of Assisi, connecting with animals, following your heart, letting your heart open. So a heart opening is a type of awakening. It's when your heart is closed because you've been hurt, a lot of times we close our heart, and then we go down and we live in the first, second, and third chakra. First chakra being survival, when it's out of balance. When it's in balance, it's I have enough, I'm grounded, I'm safe. The second chakra can be addictions or codependency. Addictions being eating too much or driving too fast, or being addicted to fighting or conflict or fear or drugs or alcohol, whatever it could be. Addictions. And then the third chakra is power and control. Being controlled or controlling and trying to manipulate others. So when the third chakra is in balance, it's in I am in my power. And when you get grounded and you clean out your chakras, it's easier for you to not be fooled by all of the malarkey that's out there, unless you're already past that. And then we come into opening our heart. And so as we open our heart, we begin to be able to let go of the pain when we were hurt as children, or even as adults. We may have been hurt or traumatized or had loss and grief or been betrayed. And so when you clean your heart chakra out and you open up, then you might cry. That's a type of awakening. So that's one part of awakening. And the other awakening is coming up here, to being neutral, to being the observer, to being able to see in your mind's eye or in front of you where you're going and what you're creating or what you want to create. And so all of that is awakening, and there's more. It's in my book. Oh, my book is out. It's on Amazon. Yay! And it's called White Rainbows by Sibyl Harmony. If you'd like to read about, I have a lot of amazing stories of contact I've had with guides and healings that I've done, and what is your spiritual anatomy. And so that is on Amazon. And I think it's on Kindle. It's on Kindle as well. And then I have 2 classes coming up in August. Your energy anatomy. Would you like to be able to heal yourself and others? And that's on my website. And if you're watching this, I'm still going to give you the early bird discount if you mention this video. Okay? So that's $100 off the price that's already on the website. And then I have a course coming up, Connecting with Your Guides, in September. And I really would love to do mediumship. I can talk to deceased people, and I love to do that. And October's a great time because they really come around in October. So beautiful. Well, if you would please remember to like and subscribe and ring that bell, because when you do that, you'll get any specials or my next month's video that comes out. And it helps me get my videos out there. So have an amazing August with, it can be really fun. What an exciting time to be here. So much passion and love and creativity and energy. And if it gets too intense, ground and be with, and call in your guides. Let's do that right now for a minute. So if you'd like, you can just close your eyes and take a breath. And say hello to yourself in the center of your head. And I'm going to send you a healing in all time and directions when you watch this video. Call in your guides. Archangel Michael is a great one to call. Guides, angels, loving, benevolent spirits that watch over me, come in and help me to ground and clean out my energy field and be in my body and know that I am safe and loved. So when you breathe through your nose, all the way in your belly, let your body relax. You start to come into your body and ground, and drop a grounding cord right from the bottom of your tailbone into the planet Earth. And let's put that on release. And breathe. And I'm sending you love and healing. And if you put your hand on your heart and let your heart open and feel love. The more you love, the more you open the doors to love coming in You clean your karma. You improve your health. We can be, the Course of Miracles says you can either be in fear or love. Let's choose love. And breathe that love in your heart. And know that all is well. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I'm Sibyl Harmony. May you be healed, because in truth, you already are.